Lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit, and I figured why not do an unboxing with you guys today. I just went to the post office to go pick this up. This is the palette that I was mentioning a couple videos ago that I had been waiting for, but I didn't want to mention what it was. This is a brand that I have not yet tried and I am really excited. I've heard really good things. And I was debating between two different palettes from this brand. This is the one that I ultimately decided to go with. And I figured that if I really do like this, then maybe I will get the other palette somewhere down the line if that's the case. So we're going to dive on into this box, and I already kind of cut into it, but we're gonna just pry this box open, hopefully. If I can get there. One side done. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's got all those little popcorn thingies in here. It's packaged very well, which is super nice. Okay, we're gonna just dump all of these into here. A lot of packaging. So this is very nice to see. It came from Florida. And I am in Ontario. Okay, it's a little bit smaller than what I was expecting, but we have the palette right here. We're dropping these popcorn things, but that's all right. And we have a little card. Thank you for your support. Bella Beauté Bar is who I decided. I was finally ready to bite the bullet and try out a palette from them. A lot of these indie brands I really do want to try if I haven't yet, but I always try and find like the perfect color story. And a lot of the times they just come out with ones that I know I'm not going to reach for. And what I find is if a brand can come out with a super good neutral palette, I'm all on board for trying them out. But I don't really want to try them until I find like that perfect neutral palette. It can be neutral with a twist. I like those. But sometimes I just want a super, not even basic, but like a good neutral palette. Because I feel like if they can do a neutral palette, then I'll branch off and I'll try more of like the colorful ones. So that's what I decided to go with. I was debating between, like I said, this one and another one. And I cannot remember the name of the other one right now, but it was more of like the mauve-y pink tones, I want to say. Where this one is just a straight up neutral palette. So if you know which palette I'm talking about, you can see it right through there. But I'm trying to cut into this. Lots of packaging, like I said, which is super good. If I can ever get it out, that would be even better. I do want to try and save this stuff though, because I want to use it for some Christmas gifts, which actually is not a bad idea. So if I can kind of cut this properly and not tear too much of it. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side. We have the palette right here. So this is the Unoriginal Nudes by Bella Beauté Bar. This is definitely Mean Girls. I love it. I love it so much. So we are going to tear this out of here. We're not going to tear it out. We're going to lightly, gently take it out. It's on there very stiff, but that's okay. This is just going to go. I don't keep these little sleeves or anything like that. This is the outside. The back just looks like that. And this is, oh, this is pretty. So here is, I don't know why I'm like all of the shimmer. Oh, that one's a little dark. Got some black on it. Anyways, here's the palette. We're gonna just take this piece off because I'm gonna throw that out too. So here is the palette. Now oh, that would make sense. I was wondering why all of the shimmers looked white. I was like, maybe once you like play with them, you see the color, and then as soon as this fell out just now, my heart sank a little bit because I thought that a shadow fell out until I looked and I was like, nope, right here, there's the shimmer. Oh, that's cool. I really like that actually. I really like that they put a cover over the shimmers just to protect them a little bit more. So all of the matte shades are called Unoriginal Nudes 1 through whatever, and then all of the shimmers have names. This is called Echo, and they all have these little things on them. So that's kind of nice. So I'm going to, oh no, that's a shimmer 1. Shimmer 2. Okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Some of the shimmers have names. Oh, that one is so pretty. Oh my god. Token Shimmer 2. Oh my goodness. This is why I bought this palette. When I was looking at this at first, I was so confused with all of the white. And I was like, okay, it's not bad. I spent this money on this palette, but taking these little things off, I'm just like, yeah. Gotta be very careful with this though. These are very smart. I really like that. I've never seen a brand do that before. Okay, now for the ultimate reveal. There is the palette. The lighting is a little bit warm, but this shade right here, I cannot wait to dive into. Maybe this is going to help a little bit with the lighting. This palette, like I was saying, if an indie brand can come out with a really good neutral palette, and I haven't tried them yet, that's kind of what I wait for before I bite the bullet, unless there's a color story that I really fell in love with and I'm willing to try out before a neutral palette. But if I feel like a brand can do a really good neutral palette, have good quality, then I will be more willing to spend my money on palettes with color stories that I wouldn't, not necessarily gravitate towards, but wouldn't be my first choice, because I know that I'm also already going to like the quality. I'm going to enjoy how it looks, the wear, you know, all of the stuff that goes into it. So I feel like starting off with a neutral palette is a good way to go about it. So sometimes that's what I wait for. And like I said, the other one was more of like a mauve-y pink tone, but I can't remember the name of it right now. If I remember, I will throw up a photo of it. That is the one that I want to grab next. So if I like this, which from what I've heard, I think I'm really going to, I am so excited to dive into these shimmers and play around. Like, how many neutral palettes do I need? Not a ton. Do I have lots? Yes, but I'm here for it because I would much rather have a bunch of neutral palettes that I can play with, even though I know they're all browns, but the shimmers just make it. There's something about this palette. I think this is absolutely stunning. Like, in person, this is going to be my favorite shade in the palette. I can tell you just by looking at it right now. This is going to be my favorite shade in the palette. I think these two combined are going to be super pretty, and this one as well. I wish you guys could kind of see. It's a little bit better. But I'm so excited to actually sit down and play around with this. So I don't know when I'm going to get to it because I don't like to do it right away. I like to just have them sit there looking quite pristine and pretty before I start diving into it and getting it all, you know, messy. But I think this is going to be absolutely beautiful. And really the only colors that I'm not going to wear are probably the black and the gray down at the bottom here. I think even these shimmers on the bottom row, I'll probably be able to play around with for sure. They don't seem too dark and too intense. There's also, I'm trying to hold it this way. There's also this one right here. But I think once I swatch these out, and obviously have a better idea of what they look like and what they could look like on the eye opposed to just like how they are sitting in the pan, I think I'm going to actually like these because they're not as dark as sometimes they seem to be in photos. So besides the black and the gray, I think every other tone in here is like what I like. It's what I enjoy. It's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm really going to get some good love on this palette. So I'm not going to reach for it just yet. Maybe I will throw this into a project for No Pan Left Behind just to get a little taste of it. But that's going to be a little bit from now. We'll see if I dip into this palette before something like that. But I'm really excited for this. I am so happy that I did finally purchase this one. It was a little pricey. I think it came to $120 Canadian. So, and then when I went to go pick it up, I had to pay duties. I had to pay like $21 and change in duties. So like, that's cool. $140 palette or something like that, which I'm just like, that's also why I don't really bite the bullet too much with these indie brands that I haven't tried. Even indie brands that I have tried, it's hard sometimes. I really want to try a couple Nomad palettes, but it's just like $55 for like a couple palettes in shipping, and that's an American. Then you got to convert it to Canadian, and I'm just like not really wanting to spend $70 just in shipping alone. I think if I had one palette in there, it was like $25, but again, that's American, so you got to convert it. That's like almost a whole other palette. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but this is also why I want to find like a color story that I know I'm going to really enjoy reaching for because of the colors. Sometimes the neutrals with a twist have just a little bit too much of a twist for me to be comfortable risking putting the money out there for a palette that I'm not going to be extremely happy with. So this is kind of why I gear a little bit more towards like a good neutral palette, and then from there, if I'm willing to spend the money on a colorful palette or another shimmer palette that has, or not shimmer palette, another neutral palette that has a twist to it. Always got to test out the easy ones first, the simple ones first, because you never know. Anyways, that is it. I figured I would just kind of do this unboxing with you guys. Like I said, I just went to go pick it up, so I've been like waiting for this to come in, and I'm really excited that it's finally here. So I'm going to try and reach for this and play with it a little bit, but I'm going to give myself some time because I like how pretty it looks when they're brand new. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you guys have tried Bella Beauté Bar. If you have, what palettes have you tried? Which one's your favorite? Which ones are you waiting to come out? Like, is there a certain color story that you're waiting for? Or out of the ones that they currently have available, which ones are you wanting to purchase? And have you tried this one or not yet? The Unoriginal Nudes, is this one that you want to try, that you don't want to try, you haven't really thought too much about it, or you're just like waiting to purchase it? Let me know your thoughts on them and everything like that down below. Let's chat. And that is all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.